About 2 years after the evangelical churches were closed down in the small East African nation of Eritrea, I had the privilege of traveling with two of my Voice of the Martyrs colleagues to the country in 2004. Now, we've been hearing reports out of Eritrea that thousands of Christians had been imprisoned in shipping containers, military prisons. The conditions absolutely horrible. Many were tortured in an effort to get them to renounce their faith in Jesus. Hundreds of thousands have left the country as a result of the political oppression under Isaias Afwerki. And more than 20 years later, the campaign against the followers of Jesus has stepped up again. Hundreds of believers have been arrested over the past year, including children. Dr. Berhane Asmelash is the director and founder of Release Eritrea, that is based in the UK, and says that even whole families are being put into prison, and he is very concerned for the physical and mental well-being of the children, and if you can believe the some as young as 2 years old.
We have thousands of Christians in and out of prison. But since, especially this year and last year, the government started to have a new wave of arrests. And this is because, in spite of all this clampdown or this cruelty, the church kept on growing. So they thought it's out of control because they couldn't control it. There is no any physical building. And people do not need to meet sometimes in order to exercise their faith.
Just to interject for a moment then, the government of Eritrea thought by closing down the churches, arresting them, treating them horribly, that would then stop the church from meeting and growing?
Yes, but it backfired because when they send them to prison, they start to multiply inside the prison.
Wow.
For example, if 20 are arrested, by the time they get released, there are 40 and 50 more. And they find it difficult to control it because people in prison are in a very, awful situation, and they need somebody to comfort them. And the only thing that they can give them hope is Christianity. So these Christians, in spite of their hardship, in spite of all this torture, they always, because they are doing it for a reason, it's not the suffering that makes it precious, it is a cause. They are doing it for the sake of Christ, for the one who loves them.
To view the full interview with Dr. Berhane Asmelash of Release Eritrea, click on the link above or listen to where you get your podcast. Closer to the Fire is available on all major apps.